Hi, students, and congratulations on being admitted to Rutgers. I'm Dr. Steve Decker here to talk to you about the Meteorology program, which I am the director of. So our Meteorology program here at Rutgers is a medium-sized program. We have currently 45 students, so 10, 15 students in each graduating class is the typical number. We have 10 meteorology faculty. Our program is within the Department of Environmental Sciences, so the number of faculty in the department is larger than what you see on this slide. I'm just showing here faculty involved in the meteorology program within the department. And I'm also highlighting with those asterisks, two of our faculty members who are fellows of the American Meteorological Society, one of the highest honors that the AMS does bestow on people. So we're lucky to have two of those fellows on our faculty. You can also see a number of other awards that our program or faculty members within our program have recently been awarded. So our program facilities, in addition to classrooms and computer labs, include a whole bunch of meteorological equipment. We have a PAM site, photochemical air monitoring site, the first one in the country at one of our research farms, a mile or so from campus. And this site, in addition to measuring air pollution, things like ozone and particulate matter, it also has state-of-the-art equipment, sonic anemometers, very fancy rain gauges, radiation measurements, just about everything you could imagine observing is taken here at the PAM site, and you can see those observations at the website. So this data is very useful to use in the classroom. We also have a weather station at Rutgers Gardens, a more traditional weather station. It's part of the cooperative network that the Weather Service runs, and so every morning at 8 a.m., typically a student for pay will take an official observation of high and low temperatures, rainfall, snowfall, and send it off to the Weather Service. This is a station that's been around for over a century, so with its very long record and high quality observations, it qualifies to be part of what's called the U.S. Historical Climatological Network. So when people talk about how little snow we had this winter or how warm it's been, those kinds of calculations are using data from stations like this one at Rutgers Gardens that we maintain. We also have on campus Storm Tracker 4. This is the Doppler radar used by WNBC in New York. But through our relationship with WNBC, we are able to get a real-time feed from this radar, and we're able to actually take control of the radar in the classroom, especially in our remote sensing class. Students learn how the radar works and are able to play around with some of the settings on this radar. In terms of the academics, like all programs here in SEBS, you need 120 credits to graduate. That averages 15 credits or 5 courses per semester. Of those 120 credits, about 24 of those have to do with school core curriculum requirements. Another 37 or 38 credits have to do with specific meteorology courses required for the meteorology major. There are a number of credits in prerequisite courses like calculus, physics, chemistry, etc. And then what's left over are what we call free electives, which are at least 23 credits, possibly more, roughly 8 courses or more, where you can take whatever you want to round out your curriculum. You might decide to take courses just for fun, or for a minor, or even for a double major. Within the meteorology major, we have 3 options that you can see on your screen. Operational meteorology for those students interested primarily in weather forecasting, environmental meteorology for those interested in air pollution or air quality monitoring, and then the climate option for those interested in climate and climate change. Regardless of which option you choose, no matter what, you will satisfy the requirements that the federal government has for what you need to do to be a meteorologist, as well as recommendations from the American Meteorological Society. Many, but not all meteorology programs around the country can say that. Coming soon, we have a 4+1 option. It's been approved at a variety of levels at the university. There's one final level of approval before we can officially put the 4+1 option on the books. The idea here is, and we believe this will be approved for this fall, students will have the opportunity to take graduate level courses in their 4th year and therefore be able to get both a bachelor's and a master's degree in 5 years. We also have some opportunities for field experience, classes where students are able to go out into the atmosphere to observe what's going on. One of those is our severe weather forecasting field trip, which is held in late May, early June during the summer session. We do a 2-week field trip out into the plains to forecast and observe severe weather. There's also a tropical environmental challenges in Costa Rica course where students take a week-long trip to Costa Rica to observe, learn about how climate change is already impacting the ecosystem down in that part of the world. Rutgers is a big place with a number of great programs, and so that affords our students an opportunity to minor in something of interest to them that sort of rounds out their academic career. I've not listed every single minor that exists here at Rutgers, just those that tend to work well with meteorology. If you're wondering about environmental geomatics, that's just our fancy words for what is typically called GIS. In addition to those minors, we also have within SEBS a program called the Clearing Corporation Charitable Foundation Agribusiness Scholars Program. So agribusiness, these are large food companies, for instance, like Mars, which is headquartered here in New Jersey. They make candy bars. They need ingredients for those candy bars. They need sugar. They need cocoa beans. They need various oils. And the price of these ingredients varies based on how the weather is impacting the harvest in various parts of the world. So these large agribusiness companies do have meteorologists on staff. We have some of our graduates actually at these agribusiness companies. And so if you're interested in that kind of career path, you might apply to be part of this agribusiness scholars program, which involves learning about things like futures markets, interning at agribusiness companies, and the like. Almost all meteorology students are members of the Meteorology Club. This is our student chapter of the American Meteorological Society. You can see on the slide here all the various activities that the Meteorology Club participates in. I want to highlight the annual trip to the AMS annual meeting, which is typically held in January. You can see a picture here from this year's meeting in Boston. Thousands of meteorologists from around the world come to this meeting, and there's a student conference as part of the meeting. Where students get an opportunity to network with other students from other universities, as well with these meteorologists that are in a variety of different career paths, whether it's academia, government, or the private sector, and really learn about all the possible career opportunities that are out there for our students. And as a department and program, we help fund that trip. We also have our Weather Watcher broadcast meteorology program. This is a student-run venture that involves the students, our Rutgers TV network, and the meteorology program. We have a state-of-the-art graphics system, the same kind of software that's used at TV stations like WNBC. So students can get up in front of the green wall and put together their own weathercasts, just like they would at a quote-unquote real weather station. And even in your first year, you can participate in Weather Watcher. I'm showing here just a few of our Weather Watcher alumni who are now off at various TV stations and TV networks around the country. In terms of job opportunities, I already alluded to being a weather observer. That's a part-time job. If you're willing to be up at 8 a.m. to take that official observation from Rutgers Gardens, you can do that. Often we have one or two of our students working part-time in the state climatologist office, crunching the numbers to determine just how snowy or lack of snow we've had in a given winter, how warm or how cold it's been, how it stacks up. Those sort of statistics need to be calculated. And so our students participate in those sorts of programs. There are a variety of internship opportunities, which I'll expand upon shortly. And students can even work remotely at nearby private companies such as WeatherWorks, which is up in North Jersey. Students also have a variety of research opportunities, whether they're part of the Honors College or Honors Program, Scholars Program, or even just taking research problems in meteorology, which is our independent study course. We have, as I mentioned before, 10 faculty involved in meteorology. Students can pair up with one of those faculty to work on a research project of interest to the faculty member and the student through any of these avenues. So I'm showing here some of the places our students have interned at recently, and I'm highlighting WNBC because of our relationship with that TV station. They reserve a slot, at least one slot for a Rutgers student each semester. And we're close enough that students, if they work their schedule right, can even intern during the fall or the spring, taking the train back and forth from the New Brunswick train station, just a mile away or so from our building, up to Manhattan to the TV station and back. In terms of possible career paths for you as you graduate with a meteorology degree from our program, I'm showing you here some students who are now, or graduates who are now in the middle of their careers. These are students that graduated more than 15 years ago or so. And you can see we have students who graduated and are still in the weather service. Possibly they're working in the energy industry, either the traditional energy industry or the renewable energy industry. the insurance industry, scientific computing, TV. Jim Nichols is an interesting case. He was a broadcast meteorologist and then transitioned over to be the communications manager for Volvo. So there are a variety of paths that you can take. You can see here, graduating with a meteorology degree does not lock you into only being a meteorologist as your only possible career. In terms of more recent students, you can again see the Weather Service is well represented. TV stations, private firms like WeatherWorks. Shenandoah Basu was a double major in meteorology and finance, and now he's working at a Wall Street firm, BlackRock, as a meteorologist, specializing especially in natural gas trading. So why should you come to Rutgers? Well, Rutgers is a big school. It's a large state university. Number of resources, because it is such a large school, lots of social opportunities, athletic opportunities. And here at SEBS, we're on the Cook campus, a little isolated from the rest of the university. So it does feel like a smaller school within the bigger school when you are a SEBS student. So I think we have the best of both worlds in that regard. Rutgers scores very highly in terms of our completion rate, as well as median salaries. I mentioned before, we have a number of top programs here at Rutgers. Marine science is a great program, one of the best in the country. Environmental science, one of the best programs in the country. So you do have the opportunity to minor or even double major in some of these programs that are related to meteorology in one way or another, and get more bang for your buck that way. There's also no need to transfer for Plan B. So sometimes students come in and decide, change their mind and not do meteorology. Again, there's a number of great programs. Chances are there's something that a student could change their major to without needing to change their school, change their university. And our location here in New Jersey, near a number of agribusinesses, TV stations, research labs, lots of opportunities to intern, even during the semester. Here at SEBS, we really do care about teaching and advising. I think our program size is just right, small enough that the students get to know each other, get to know the faculty get to know the students, but we're large enough that we have all the resources necessary for our students to succeed. Students can get immediately from day one with things like the Meteorology Club or Weather Watcher. Our students tell us they really enjoy our family-like atmosphere that our medium size really allows to exist. We're one of the few schools in the country with a Doppler radar on campus that we can access and use. And we have a proven track record of success. Our alumni are getting out into the workforce, doing what they want to do. Every year, a Rutgers student has been accepted to a leadership workshop run by the National Center for Atmospheric Research out in Boulder, Colorado. And as I mentioned before, we are ranked in the top 10 in terms of meteorology programs. So here's an example of some of the unsolicited testimony that I received. This is from a current student after talking with some other students at the AMS annual meeting or maybe at the undergraduate leadership workshop, learning about sort of complaints about other universities and how the student has no complaints about our program here at Rutgers. Finally, I want to mention our living learning community. As an admitted student, whether you're a first-year student or a transfer student, you are eligible to live in the LLC. This is over in Perry Hall, where the TV studio is, right across the field from our building, which is labeled Us on this slide. Now, even if you're not interested or don't think you're interested in broadcast meteorology, this is a great opportunity to live with other students who are interested in meteorology in general. Our students who live in the LLC who aren't interested in broadcast meteorology, they still tell me that they are glad that they joined the LLC. But if you are interested in broadcast meteorology, it's a great opportunity to get lots of experience in front of that green wall before you graduate as well. So with that, I'll leave you with my contact information. Email, especially right now, is probably the best way to contact me. So if you have any questions about our program, don't hesitate to reach out via email. You can also see where our website is, our Facebook page, and any way I can assist with your college decision, I'm willing to do that. So please contact me. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and I hope to see you in the fall.